I'm so excited that you're here on the initiative. I'm so excited you're here on the Institute. It's another fascinating dark series for you. What was it about the Institute or Trevor that drew you to be a part of this show?
Well, as you said, it's a dark show. There's no doubt about it. But it's like so many things that I enjoy being involved with. There's a counterpoint to the darkness. There's hope. There's struggle. But people come out of it the other end wiser. Society comes out learning a little bit and a little bit more humble about the malpractices that we're doing. And I really like this particular novel because it's really about the kids. It's the adults are there; they're obstacles in the way of the kids' heroic journey. Um, and again, that in itself is a cause for hope.
How did they describe then Trevor to you initially, or did they let you have a little bit of him from the book or him from you as and him from you as well?
Well, I was given quite a bit of. I mean, the scripts had been already written for the TV show. My research was basically reading the novel a couple of times and getting a sense of who Stackhouse was and where he existed in Stephen King's world. There are some minor adjustments that I made just because I mean he in the book he's described as being a large, heavy-set security guy with a shaved head. That's not me, but I can bring like I can. I'm not going to try and approximate that, but I can bring that function to the story and that kind of sense of menace. And so I did it in a slightly different way. And Jack Bender, the producer, showrunner, um, director sort of gave me that allowance to kind of interpret it that way.
Okay.
Um, and I took my cues really from the script and also from the relationship with Dr. Hendricks, with Robert Joy. The way that the script has been written for the TV series is that the two of them are these two jealous older professionals that are very territorial and very set in their ways. And they are rivals on a number of professional and personal level. So that too was a sort of an inroad for me.
You have some incredible co-stars to this. Were you looking forward to sharing a scene with someone in particular?
Oh, well, you name it. I'll start with Robert Dewey, who I just mentioned, who played Dr. Stackhouse. I've watched his work, I guess, for the last 40 years. We're similar in age, and so we have a similar long track record, and I've always admired what he's done. Um, and the gamut of things from comedy to drama to almost like soap opera too. And he always brings a really specific quality to things. So I was really looking forward to that. You dance around as an actor, and sometimes you will work with some people two, three, four, five times in a row. And there's other people you never see. And Robert's one of those people for me where we've never worked together. And that was a joy. That was really good. And also, the nature of our characters allowed us to really riff off each other too and enjoy our collaboration. And then I got to say, the other great joy for me, of course, was Mary-Louise Parker, who I've never known her personally, but I've admired her work, a lot over the years. And so that was a great thrill for me too, because a lot of Stackhouse's scenes are with her. And there's a depth to their relationship that makes it very interesting for us to play.
It's all so fascinating to watch the show. It's quite bingeable. You get deep in it so quickly. Was there a particular scene you were just proud of the work you put into or
Ooh.
how it turned out?
Hi. It When we were shooting, I got a real sense that Jack was very much on top of everything, and he was in control of the look and the feel, the emotional undercurrent of the piece. So I was never surprised when I actually saw it on the screen. Obviously, there's certain enhancements by special effects that you go, oh, wow, I didn't realize that could happen, and some of the TP and TK effects are great fun to see. But there were a number of scenes. I mean, very early on, Stackhouse is in Sigsbee's office with Luke, and one of the early grilling scenes. It was a really powerful scene, and it was heartless and merciless. It's adults being cruel to children. Or should I say, not overtly cruel? I mean, we weren't hurting him physically in that scene, but there was a lack of empathy and a lack of sympathy that was for me as a father, you go, oh wow, this is tough stuff. And to his credit, Joe was great, Joe Freeman, who was able to just jump in and take it on and grapple with it, in a very healthy way. So anyway, so I guess that early scene in Sigsbee's office with Luke and Stackhouse and Sigsbee, that was one where I really felt the emotional pull of the show.
These are such dark characters that you tend to play frequently and so creepily and so well.
Well, thank you. It's something to do with having cheekbones and a British accent, I think.
Maybe that's
But
the
but
maybe
on a
a
on a
flair for
serious note,
drama
though,
though.
yeah. But seriously, I like inhabiting some of the darkness of stories because we're all we do is tell stories, and in every story there's darkness and light, and there are different qualities. I enjoy the darker side of stories, or portraying figures in a genre movie, basically because I think that they, as I said earlier, they can offer counterpoint. And so, for instance, I play the darkest of the dark, I guess you could say, Death in Supernatural, who is like the Grim Reaper who comes to take your soul away. I mean, you can't get much darker than that. But within that character, too, there's life. He's part of a cycle. And that character is also very aware of the saving humanity of the people that he's meeting. And he, in many ways, envies their smallness and their humility in the world.
How do you slip out of these characters then?
I don't know. I approach them professionally, level-headedly. I never get too caught or darkly in them. I guess I grew up in a family. I have two brothers, one on either side. I'm the middle. And so they never let me get too involved in stuff. They would always like pull me out and not let me take myself too seriously. So I always carry that what some people refer to as an actor's 10% in a role, where you preserve your own integrity or your own sense of self within whatever character or whatever journey you're going on. So I'm able to drop in and out of it fairly comfortably. And people are always amazed that I can smile too. I just caught myself laughing. I'm looking at myself on the camera, and people sometimes will see me and they go, "Oh my God, you smiled! You're actually you're not all that bad." So yeah, I like to think that I can bounce easily.
You have played some. Your IMDb list is just long and lengthy. You've had a beautiful career. Are there some specific projects you've been a part of that truly hold a special place in your heart? Certainly, Supernatural fans must be
Yeah.
so special for you as well because they're so vocal about the wonderful series.
Absolutely. And I mean, Supernatural is right up there. Fortunately, it's got recognition and it has a huge fan base. So I won't talk about that so much because it is already talked about. But there are other shows too that have garnered less attention that I'm equally proud of. For instance, I did a show, two seasons on an Amazon Prime show called Patriot. written and directed by Stephen Conrad. I thought it was a wonderful show, quirky, full of character actors, people like Kurtwood Smith, Terry O'Quinn, myself, like all made a workforce that was um, completely different than anything that was being shown at the time. And it was a show that seemed to define a period of time, and it challenged boundaries of comedy and tragedy and pathos that hadn't been seen until then. So that was a real point of pride. I really like that show. And then there are other ones that often don't see the light of day because they're quite specific and they will appeal to a very particular demographic rather than, a broad, all-encompassing, all-pleasing story. Um, there's one in particular, there's a Canadian independent film called Hardcore Logo, in which I play sort of a burned out rock and roll star, kind of an Iggy Pop on a farm, wasting away and very bitter and cynical. And I really enjoyed that because I was able to channel my love of music and sort of rock and roll culture. And that's the sort of a direction that I like to go in from time to time.
So many wonderful projects you've been a part of. What's next for you? What have you been busy working on recently?
Well, I'm happy to say I'm in a feature film I feel very strongly about. It's called Honey Bunch. It's directed by a husband-wife team, which is kind of unusual and exciting. And it stars a husband-wife team as husband and wife. And it's a kind of a mystery, suspense-filled, and suspense in a sort of something's wrong, but you don't quite know what it is. And it's just uneasy. And there's something uneasy with the relationship between the two of them and the reason that they are in a spa in the middle of nowhere, and it just makes you feel uncomfortable and it hits all the right buttons in terms of questioning yourself and questioning your partner and what their motives are. So it's a really unsettling movie. It's got a wonderful cast. The husband wife team is Grace Glowicki and Ben Petrie, two wonderful actors that are sort of young and on the cusp of a really big career. And it also has Jason Isaacs and Kate
Oh,
Dickie from the UK in it too. And so it's full of interesting characters and situations. So yeah, yeah. So
wow.
that's coming up, and I'm hoping. I don't know. It had a premiere at the Berlin Film Festival this year, and I would imagine that it's going to go to some other festivals before it gets a general release. But we'll see. So Honey Bunch.
What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the incredible work you continue to do on our screens?
Keep watching, please. I appreciate everybody out there. One of the things that Supernatural has brought to me is an appreciation of fandom and an appreciation of our audience and how important they are and how loyal and informed our audience are. I'm always amazed at how much more somebody watching the show will know about my character or the backstory than sometimes I do. So that's kind of an amazing thing. So just thank you, and I'm privileged to be in this position to be doing this work and telling lots of stories, and particularly in a Stephen King universe, which is a
Highest of the
tremendous
high.
for me. And this is my fourth. This is my fourth time in a Stephen King show, so it's kind of where I feel comfortable.
And the dark undertones seem to speak to a person you don't seem to be.
But ask my wife.
Uh, no
Yeah,
comment.
yeah.
Maybe when you've not had your tea or coffee properly, you're those people inhabit.
That's right. That's right. I get very impatient. No, I bring, and I recognize what a privilege it is to be an actor, and I enjoy it. And I enjoy what I do, which is again one of the reasons why I've done so many things, is that I tend to say yes to things and think, well, I'll have an adventure on this. I don't come with a preordained set of values. I tend to go, well, okay, this looks interesting.
Well, you're very good at what you do. I hope you know that.
Well, thank you.
And they keep hiring you for these roles. You have quite a gift for that, and certainly putting it aside.
Yeah, that's good. Nice cup of tea. That'll do it.